Let's make this fleeting moment last forever. So tell me what you're waiting for. I'm gonna keep it.
We're Mike and Betsy. Over the past year, we quit our jobs, sold everything, and bought a sailboat to explore the world with our 15-year-old daughter, Ellie. Our 44-foot sailboat named Rogue Fun is our floating home. In our last episode, we moved aboard and got ready to leave the marina and head south. Join us in this episode as we finally cast off the lines and take the Intracoastal Waterway south to Florida.
Yeah. Here we go.
We couldn't have asked for better weather for our departure day. Low 70s and sunny. Our first goal was to navigate the creeks that would take us out to the Intracoastal Waterway, better known as the ICW.
The ICW is a 3,000-mile inland waterway along the coast from Massachusetts to Texas. Taking the ICW is safer than traveling on the open sea.
However, there are many bridges on the ICW. Our mast is about 58 feet high, and depending on the tides, the clearance under the bridges can be too close for comfort at times.
I hope so. Plenty of clearance. I'm going to.
And of course, this is what I'm thinking.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh. That seemed like just barely. Oh. My tummy hurts.
Our other challenge on the ICW is depth. Our keel has a depth of 6 feet, and we have to carefully coordinate our passages through some areas. This is Watts Cut, and at low tide, it's about 6 feet deep. As you can see, straying too far to one side or the other will quickly take us into very shallow water. We had been thinking about this shallow cut for days, and we were grateful to have made it through without running aground. Needless to say, it was a relief to head out into more open water. Our reward was a dolphin sighting.
There! These are my favorite. Oh, there's one behind us. Eliane!
Wasn't that cool?
Way off in that, you see way out there? There's some more.
Oh, there's, if I dangled my feet in the water.
Yeah, they're just, you can just see them
Unfortunately, most of these dolphins kept their distance, but it was still so exciting to spot them.
Please. I'm crying a little.
Mid-afternoon marked the time when we were ready to settle into our anchorage for the night. Mike and I had never anchored before, so it was another new thing to learn.
Our first successful anchorage.
Rogue Fun has an electric windlass. This is the machine that lowers the anchor and chain down with a remote. We put what's called a snubber on the anchor chain so that when we move around, it doesn't put stress on the windlass. The area was so calm, peaceful, and beautiful. We sat on deck until dark, listening to the sounds of nature. The sunset that evening kept getting better and better. The following morning, we woke up to extreme fog. Visibility was poor, so we had to ring our bell every 2 minutes into the fog as we made our way out that morning. For Christmas, CJ and Elise had gotten us some marine binoculars. We really enjoyed using them to see nature up close, and they came in handy for lookout. So right now we're just circling and waiting for the bridge to open. It's a swing bridge, so closed it's 30 feet. So they'll open it and then we'll be able to get through, but they open every hour on the hour aside from rush hour traffic. So this is what it looks like. Just that center part swings open and we just have to squeak through there. They're signaling the alarm. Looks like we're good to go, huh?
Let me know when you see green.
Okay.
Green on top?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Green on top.
Okay, green on top.
Yeah.
One of my hurdles to overcome was piloting the boat all alone, avoiding obstacles, being in charge of navigation, and dealing with boat traffic all made me nervous. But soon I started feeling comfortable and was reluctant to turn over the wheel. Navigating bridge traffic, schedules, and vocabulary kept us on our toes.
Well, it says, so the top of the span of the first board is 55 feet.
We're going towards the land.
The top of the second board is 57.8 inches. The top of the third board is 60. The top of the fourth board is 62.9.
What do you mean board?
I don't know. The top,
Yeah.
Do you think by board they mean
The chunks.
Yeah, so we'll just go through the middle, right? The
Yeah.
highest peak? Yeah. There's a boat coming toward us, so do I go to the right?
I would slow it, yeah.
Do we have the right of way?
We're equal, but we want to show them we're going to pass, so they should be to our port, and they did the same. We showed what we were going to do.
It looks so little. Every bridge made me hold my breath in anticipation, but soon we felt like pros. We crossed under a lot of bridges that day. One of the things we loved about traveling on the ICW was seeing all of the water birds. Awkward but graceful pelicans flying low over the water. Egrets huddled together in shallow water, along with flocks of seagulls flying behind the boat, and seeing a moon in the daytime sky. Up until now, the scenery was full of marshes, creeks, and pretty wild. Soon we started passing through some more populated areas like Beaufort, South Carolina, and Hilton Head Island. Mike and I are gaining confidence with our anchoring. We use a combination of walkie-talkies and hand signals to get in the proper position to anchor. We made it to Savannah, Georgia. The temperatures tonight are supposed to get close to freezing. Since our diesel heater stopped working, we stayed overnight at Isle of Hope Marina. While here, we could shower, do laundry, and run some errands. One great thing about this marina is they had a complimentary car for running errands. It sure looked like it had some history, though.
Got a loaner car from the marina. We're going to West Marine and running some errands while we can. What did you say? You feel like you're in college?
Like college.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Why you ask? That's why.
You're going to be angling to the right up here. We're heading to a West Marine. It's an adventure.
That's ours. Airbags are not functional.
The morning we left was so cold and windy. Soon we had to layer on the foul weather gear.
Yeah, because we're like surfing the waves.
But look at how big they are. This is how big they were. And we're
But of course, it doesn't look.
This is the big difference between our wonderful little Hunter Cherubini that was 30 foot long and this comparatively behemoth of a boat that weighs almost 3 times as much. These seas would have been very uncomfortable in that littler boat. And here, just got a very, very gentle rocking.
So I'm down below making lunch. It's kind of cold today, so we're having soup.
We've got our soup is in here, and the stove, gimbals, and then we've got these that are hooked on, and you can see they're holding the pot in place.
We passed an open section of the ocean.
As we made our way through Georgia, there were always interesting things to see. Little islands that looked like so much fun to explore, huge barges pushed by little tugboats, and massive homes. It was getting to be that time of day when we needed to find our anchorage for the night. It sounded like there would be some pretty gusty winds, so we wanted to find a protected anchorage. Everything we came across didn't seem to be situated right, so we decided to make the pass through shallow Jekyll Creek, even though the tide was falling. As we neared the creek, it was unnerving to look to the side and see birds just walking on the beaches so close to where we were moving.
What are we at right now? We just went through Jekyll Creek and falling tide where there were parts that said 5 or 6 feet and a draft of our boat is 6 feet. So we went, just kind of squeaked right through, and it was kind of frightening because on either side you could see mud really close. And then a boat had to pass us, and we passed within, I don't know what, 5 feet of each other. Whew. Glad we're through that pass.
It was getting later and later, and we were getting nervous about finding an anchorage for the night. Finally, we settled on a little place near Cumberland Island. Before we could even let out the anchor, we had dolphins all around us.
Oh, there they are. Look at them. Hi. Oh. Were they? What was that? Where? Eliane, can you believe that?
Yeah, they're like right around here.
Just beyond our. Oh, right there.
Ellie, hurry up, they're coming. Oh. Yeah. They were like 5 before.
What would we do if I put my feet in?
Try it. It looks like they're coming toward us now.
This might be out of battery now.
They're so close. Right here. There's so many. We sat out on the deck until sunset, watching dolphins through our binoculars. We were in awe of how this unplanned anchorage turned out to be the highlight of our trip so far. We were sad to leave our dolphin anchorage, but we'd gathered so many amazing memories. With the days warming up and the nights cooling down, we always woke up to a lot of condensation in the morning. To halt the spread of mildew, we were diligent about wiping down the condensation on all the hatches and port lights. During our days motoring down the ICW, we worked on Ellie's schooling, did some sightseeing from the cockpit, and took advantage of our compact bread maker. What are you making, Ellie?
Bread.
Yeah, rosemary, olive, focaccia bread in our bread machine. And she's just chopping olives.
Chopping olives.
One of our greatest pleasures is freshly baked bread. We love white bread with butter and honey, or specialty focaccia dipped in olive oil and spices.
That is enough to make you sick.
Strong currents through narrow spots like bridges can create hazards for any boat. We're on our last leg to St. Augustine. We plan to stay in St. Augustine for a few weeks to receive the shipment of our new main sheet and spinnaker halyard, and then keep going south. Houses alongside. This river just south of Jacksonville had pier after pier and went on for miles. Normally, we start Ellie's school around 9 and finish around 2 in the afternoon.
We started our day by washing the dishes after breakfast and spotting dolphins while we took up the anchor.
Yeah, we saw dolphins.
Yeah, they were pretty close to the boat too. There were a couple of them.
Yeah, there was one that was like probably the width from here to there.
Yeah. So now I'm just putting together Ellie's school list. Ellie, I'll share it with you on messages.
Okay, I'm just posting.
Ellie's working on Spanish, algebra, biology, English language arts, and geography. For online resources, we connect our computers to hotspots on our phone.
How's it going, Captain?
Good.
Oh, that boat is following us.
Wonder if that's our...
They
Anchorage
zoomed,
stealers.
yeah, they zoomed ahead of us last night and basically pulled into the exact anchorage we wanted. And it was like 10 minutes before we got there.
They passed us, yeah.
Yeah, they passed us. But we found one anchorage and then had to pull up anchor and find a different one because we were right in the channel.
We found dolphins. They did not.
Yes. There is the Atlantic Ocean out that way.
We pulled into St. Augustine. This was the busiest anchorage that we've been in as of yet, and the weather is beautiful. Once we got settled, we took our first dinghy ride and went in to explore the historical city of St. Augustine. Join us next time as we spend longer than expected in St. Augustine. We explore the city and haul out rogue fun to deal with some boat issues.
Feeling